In the last video, we looked at how an acid reacts with an alcohol to make an ester, and how alcohols are oxidized to aldehydes, ketones, or acids, depending on the alcohol type. In this video, we'll look at how an acid reacts with amine to form an amide, and at the alkene hydrogenation reaction to form an alkane. Organic reactions occur at specific functional groups which have specific chemical properties. In the last video, we looked at how an alcohol reacts with an acid to form an ester. We described this reaction as a type of double replacement reaction, but it's also a type of condensation reaction because it produces water as a product. You may have seen this reaction in your biology class. A fatty acid reacts with glycerol to produce a triglyceride. The triglyceride is an ester. Here's another condensation reaction or double replacement reaction. An amine reacts with an acid to produce an amide plus water. Stop the video and identify the bonds that break in the amine and acid and the bonds that form in the amide and water. And the answer is, here are the fragments of the reactants, and here's how the fragments recombine to form products. By identifying the bonds that break and form, we can predict the structure of the product when an amine reacts with an acid. An alkene group is a carbon-carbon double bond. This group will undergo addition reactions. A hydrogenation reaction is a type of addition reaction. When an alkene reacts with H2, each H and H2 adds to the carbons in the carbon-carbon double bond. Unsaturated fats are liquids at room temperature. Hydrogenation converts the liquid unsaturated fat to a solid saturated fat. Let's review organic reactions. In the last video, we learned a primary alcohol oxidizes to an aldehyde. Stop the video and draw the structures of the products of these reactions. And the answers are... Identifying the functional group in each reactant helps you identify the type of reaction that occurs. For the last reaction, you can show how the amine and acid in green react to form a different amide. I just want to say one word to you, just one word: plastics. Stop the video for a second and identify the movie that made this line famous. And the answer is... Plastics are polymers which are long chains of repeating units, many polymers made from alkenes. Here are the recycling codes for 6 plastics made from alkenes. Polyethylene is a common plastic. Stop the video and take your best guess at answering these 2 questions. And the answers are... Ethylene is an alkene, and alkenes undergo addition reactions. There are 2 types of polyethylene, high density and low density polyethylene. Stop the video and see if you can figure out the structural feature that determines the properties of each type of polyethylene. And the answer is... This one is high density polyethylene. Individual chains can pack close together. That one is low density polyethylene. Note that the branches off the main chain do not allow the chains to pack close together. So HDPE is used to make hard plastics such as toys. LDPE is used to make soft plastics like plastic wrap. One type of filament used in 3D printers is polylactic acid, PLA. Stop the video and figure out how PLA is made from lactic acid. And the answer is... The alcohol group from one lactic acid molecule reacts with the acid group from another lactic acid molecule to produce an ester. Polylactic acid is a type of polyester. Nylon is another common plastic. It's made from hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid. Stop the video and answer these questions. And the answers are... When an amine reacts with an acid to form an amide, that's a type of condensation reaction. Nylon is a type of polyamide plastic. There are many types of nylon made from different amines and acids. The properties of nylon determines its use and application. 12% of the trash we generate are plastics. So chemical companies are trying to develop compostable, biodegradable plastics. Biological molecules, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids are organic compounds. Stop the video and review the information in this table. Note that carbohydrates, proteins, and nucleic acids are types of polymers. They are long chains of repeating units. Although lipids are long chains, they are not based on the same repeating unit. Let's take a look at carbohydrates. Stop the video and answer these 3 questions. And the answers are... For question 1, if you've taken biology, you know glucose is metabolized in our body starting with glycolysis. For question 2, these 2 structures have the same chemical formula but different connectivity, so they're structural isomers. The glycosidic bond in sucrose is an ether functional group. I was very happy when wrinkle-free permanent press clothing became available. I don't have to iron anymore. And it all has to do with chemical forces. Plastic bottles, nylon, and synthetic fibers all come from petroleum sources. Rubber from a rubber tree comes from a natural source. Chitin is a biopolymer found in nature. One use is as a shipping container. Stop the video and answer this question. And the answer is, let's look at proteins. Proteins consist of amino acids. Stop the video and identify the structural level that determines a protein's activity and function. And the answer is, protein shape determines its activity and function. In a protein, a peptide bond connects the amino acids. Stop the video and identify the peptide bond. And the answer is, note that the peptide bond is part of the amide functional group. Hair is made of protein. Breaking bonds and remaking them in different places will make your straight hair curly or vice versa. This picture shows how Tamiflu blocks the active site of an enzyme protein in a virus. Tamiflu fits the shape of that part of the protein which affects activity and function of the protein. Fats and oils are found in nature as triglycerides. A triglyceride is a type of ester. This triglyceride ester undergoes hydrolysis to form 3 fatty acids and glycerol. Stop the video and answer these 2 questions. And the answers are, a saturated fat is an alkane with carbon-carbon single bonds only. In a cis unsaturated fat, the 2 H's are on the same side of the carbon-carbon double bond. How does the structure of a fat affect our health? Stop the video and answer these questions. And the answers are, the cis unsaturated fat is bent, which has a lower melting point and is a liquid. Straight chains pack closer together and require more energy to move them apart, therefore a higher melting point. Oils with a higher amount of monounsaturated fats are better to eat. Companies are producing seeds that yield crops with a higher amount of monounsaturated fat. DNA and RNA are types of nucleic acids. You've seen these letters before. Stop the video and answer these 2 questions. And the answers are, A stands for adenine, T for thymine, C for cytosine, and G for guanine. Hydrogen bonds between base pairs on 2 separate strands of DNA determine the double helix shape.